Hey girly, we are back with another installment of Becoming Her, where we become the women that God has created us to be. So today we are talking about goal setting and planning. So in order to become her, we actually need to plan out our goals. What do we want to achieve? What do we want to accomplish with the Lord? And then we also have to plan out our week so we make sure our goals are getting accomplished. So writing out goals, goal setting, and weekly planning is actually the way that we get stuff done. So the Growing with God digital journal that I created has a whole section on planning. It has SMART goals. There is a place to write out your actual goals. There's a monthly goal planner that goes by year. And then there's also a separate goal planner so you can break down your goal into specific steps. And then of course we have a weekly planner following that. So now that you have specific steps for your goals, now you can figure out how you want to go about accomplishing those specific steps through your week. Let me tell y'all something. The word specific always gets me every single time. Specific will always get me. As you are working through your goals and goal planning, I definitely recommend praying about your goals. So ask the Lord for discipline, ask the Lord for focus so that you can actually put in the work to achieve your goals. Ask the Lord to bless you with your goals, to make your goals come to fruition. Ask Him to bring in destiny helpers and people to help you with those goals, for the resources. Just say a prayer every time you approach goal setting. So that way you know you're not just goal setting of your own accord, but you're goal setting with the Lord. And I think it's also important to pray that you are able to handle the thing. So let's say, for example, you are praying for a new job. You better ask for the grace to be able to handle that job, okay? So anything could be a goal, really. It could be buying a new car. It could be buying a house. It could be moving to a different country. It could be planning a trip, Anything could really be a goal, because there's something big like, I want to plan a trip to Italy for my birthday. Okay, cool. How do you go about doing that? And that's a little bit of what we're going to talk about today. So step one in goal setting is to write out your goals. So this can be spiritual goals, it can be financial goals, it can be personal goals. And you want to write out your goals using the SMART method. SMART goals are basically goals that are specific, they are measurable, they are attainable, they are relevant, and then they have a time frame. So for example, you want to have a goal, but you want to have a time for that goal. Let's say you want to write a book. You want to be really specific and say, like, I want to write this book in a year. Because if you just say, I want to write a book, your book will never get done. So I've learned for myself that I have to put deadlines on things or else they're not going to get done. So of course, prayer is amazing and everything, but they say faith without works is dead. So if you're just praying for the Lord to bless you with book sales and stuff like that, but there's no book, you're not sitting down to write the book, God has nothing to bless. So we need to actually put in the work, put in the action for God to bless it. So for this video, the goal that we are going to be focusing on is buying a new car. For those of y'all who watch my word of encouragement, I shared my mini testimony about being able to afford a new car. So that's just the example we're going to go with for today. Now, setting the goal of buying a new car is extremely broad. So you want to think about some things like, in what time frame do I want to buy a car before next year? What kind of car do I want to buy? How do I know that I've bought in a car? And this one's a little more obvious, like you will know you've bought in a car and reached that goal when you buy a car. But it's just stuff like that. So we need to make sure they are specific, they are measurable, they are attainable. Maybe you do want to buy a car, but right now with your job, you might be working retail, you will not be able to afford a Lexus. Okay? But by the grace of God, you can. But realistically speaking, they need to be realistic. Can I attain this goal? So you might even look into, do I want to buy a used car? Do I want to buy a new car? This is just an example. So those are some things to think about. Now that you know your goal, it's time to plan out how do you go about achieving that goal. And this is where a to-do list and a steps to take list come in, because the overarching goal of buying a new car can seem very daunting, but when we break it down into more measurable, doable steps, it makes the whole process so much easier. And that's the important thing in setting goals. You need to make them into small, bite-sized pieces of things that you can do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, to get you closer to achieving that goal. But the blessing is that we have the supernatural backing of God, of heaven with us as we work towards these goals. And we have this because we are walking with God and hopefully walking according to His will. So now that we have planned out our goal into more measurable steps, you can go through your monthly goal planner and start inputting what you want to do month by month to achieve that goal. So since it's basically a new year, the first thing that you can do is in January, maybe you're gonna apply to 50 jobs. Maybe you say, I'll apply to 50 jobs, and then by February, you're gonna interview for jobs, you're gonna get a new job, and then maybe in March, you're gonna save 20% of your paycheck. Maybe in February as well, you're gonna open a savings account. You know, whatever that looks like for you in terms of buying a car. Just go month by month, because you said you wanted to get your car by June. What do we have to do up until June so that we can make getting a car a reality? So now that you have gone through your month by month planning, now you can do step 4, which is your weekly planning. So now you can use some of those smaller, measurable, bite-sized pieces to start planning out what you want to do on a week by week basis so that now you can get one step closer to achieving your goals. And I've also included a weekly reflection in the planner that you guys can use to look back on the goals you set for that week to see if you accomplished them or what you can do differently. Because a really important aspect of goal setting is being able to reflect and look back on what you did. You know, so if you see something isn't working, you look back at that, you reflect, and you pivot. Maybe something has worked really well for you. You keep that thing. So it's important to reflect periodically while we are in the pursuit of our goals. And I think the weekly reflection is a great way of doing that. So after you do your weekly planning, we are now at step 5. Now you can feel at peace because your goal is more manageable. You are one step closer to achieving your goal because you have broken it down into bit-sized pieces that are easy to manage, easy to go after, and now you can just rest. Rest in the Lord. Rest in His perfect peace and His calm, that He will work everything out because you are doing your part. You are giving Him something to increase because you are planting and watering, and He will bring increase. And that's Bible. That is a verse in the Bible, okay? So I didn't just make that up. They are God's words. That is the end of our video. I hope that it was informative to you. I hope that you learned something new about goal setting, and that once again, just a reminder, the Growing with God journal has a whole section on planning and goal setting for you to use. And mind you, you're not even buying a planner. You're buying a journal to grow with God, but we are growing in all aspects of our lives and our walks with the Lord, and we are becoming her with Jesus, okay? So please like this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel to be up to date and notified when the next installment of Becoming Her is coming out, because we are becoming the women that God has created us to be, okay? Please also follow me on my social media. My Instagram and my TikTok are linked below in the caption. So go check them out. I just post different stuff, you know, about the Lord and just life. And also, I now have a website going where you can subscribe to join the Growing with God Edit mailing list so you guys can keep up to date on the release of the digital journal and also any other digital products that I come out with, along with our newsletter. Before I was rudely interrupted by my storage getting full, I was saying, don't worry, we won't spam you. But if you want to keep updated, I definitely would click the link in the bio so that you can subscribe and join. I hope you guys have a very, very, very blessed day. I love you. Jesus loves you so much more. And I will talk soon. Okay, bye.